Hey, my name's Richard Elsie with Signal 40. Now, I was at a Publix grocery store recently, and I was standing in line, and the lady in front of me walked in, and she had like quilted some of the grocery bags that you see at the stores. Well, the young cashier, looked over and said, I'm glad your generation is helping us, eco-friendly, and of course, the lady didn't say anything. She just looked real weird and, went ahead and paid the lady and left and never said a word. But, of course, I'm standing there just thinking about that. And, of course, as I come on home, I sat there and thought about it even more. And I says, eco-friendly. Says, now, wait a minute. Both my mom and grandma, I've seen them both hand wash clothes on a scrub board. There's no motor there. There's no moving parts except your hands getting all bloody. And if you look, there's Lye soap in the background. So how much more eco-friendly could you get? I mean, let me just throw it in the washer and throw in a Tide pill and it'll do it for me? Sure. Now, these solar ovens, I mean, they were never really, we had to do it, but, I've seen a lot of times, just create stuff, and it works, that's zero, watts of energy that you're producing here. It's all sunlight. So, and, I don't remember my grandmother ever having a dishwasher except for other people. And my mom finally has one, but God, she waited long enough for it. It was in the old days, it was by hand. It was used no electricity, Don't know why this jumping forward. It might be me somehow. So, hand wash dishes. Well, they had to take their Coke bottles to the store and get them returned in order to get new. So Coca-Cola would rewash them and reuse them. So, again, eco-friendly, that's reusable instead of the plastic and all that we create today. And of course, on a sunny day, you never turned on a light on the inside of the house. It was always, let's use that solar light, open the windows, so again, that was just the way it is. We didn't have computers and your television didn't stay on 24/7, and so it was conserved. And of course, she had no alarm, but house, security system was her dog. Well, chew your ass up if you got too close and make a riot if you were too close to the house. So don't get more eco-friendly than that. Now, what this is a solar hair dryer. Amazing, Let your hair go outside and it dries. No energy whatsoever. And this falls into the solar clothes dryer. There's a pair of them there. Work well for many years. No dryer. That's how your clothes got dried. Or by the stove in the winter. Damn diapers. I remember getting stuck many a day by them. Cloth diapers. Now tell me they weren't fun. Made of cloth. Baby shits in them. So you have to take them out, scrub them out, clean them, bleach them. Make sure they're okay for the baby to wear again. They didn't have plastic ones. They just throw in the garbage and fill up the dumps. Reusable. Maybe that's eco-friendly. Huh. I'll have to think about that one. Yep, lay that big old garden hose out in the yard and let it heat up real good all day. And in the evenings, you'd strip to your underwear and take a hot shower. Many a day. That solar water heater there. People forgot about that. A little eco-friendly, a little green. Let's use the energy that we have and the sunlight's providing for us. Sounds great to me. There's the old box fan in the window. No AC, so let's try to pull some of the heat out of the house. So open a window and put a box fan in front of it, and that's it. Then you had your air conditioning, a mist bottle, of water where you could sprinkle it on you, while you're laying in bed, and the cool air running over it. Nothing better. Well, no, AC's a lot better, but let's But this was more, green energy. No one stood out there with the bush and fanned it around or anything. But hey. And that's a Ben Franklin fire stove. My mother and grandmother both had one. Heat at the house. You can renewable energy there. Wood. Just got to plant more trees. And that's what we used to heat the house with. Not a great heating stove, but it's all we had, unfortunately. So that was it. Good old cast iron stove. I believe they still make them, just identical to it. Okay, over the years. And of course, we had a garden. My grandmother had a garden. Corn, beans, pickles, tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, cucumbers. That was a fun time, let me tell you. You have to plant them, then you have to go out there and make sure they get watered, then hoe them and make sure you pull the weeds, and at the end of the year, you got to harvest the fruit. Sounds easy. The same thing with fruit trees. Well, her and her neighbors were all green. They had strawberries and, oranges and lemons and different types of fruit they had passed around. And here's a nice young lady, hooking a propane tank up, to a water heater. That's what they can do today. They don't need the water heaters like we had. They, the garden hose, they just Insta-Hots. Going to heat it with propane. Huh. Think of everything, don't they? But that's, is that eco-friendly, or did I miss something? We didn't go throw away plastic milk jugs. The milkman brought it to us, and bottles, and once you were finished with the bottles, you'd give them back, and they'd take, and they'd go to cleaner, and they'd clean them up, and then reuse them, bring you more milk to you. Again, that seemed more eco-friendly than the, gallon jugs. Good old tobacco. You had to grow your own. Eco-friendly. So, it's still the same. But I grew up in rural Kentucky, and, that's the way it was. And foot power, that was a big source of movement back in my grandmother's day. She said, you just didn't have any, access to a lot of cars, and you didn't want to take them out all the time, so you walked. And she said, if you had a car, it was only one car per family. You didn't have 2 or 3 cars. That was just ridiculous. So you walked, and we didn't have vacuums and all these fancy moppers. We had a broom. Look at that, straw broom. Naturally made. Wood handle. I'd say that was eco-friendly. You don't get more eco-friendly here in green tea, or sun tea. But, hey, it looks real good. Maybe want to try that tomorrow. I'll throw some lemon and everything in it, different types of tea, and they say it's the best in the world. And there's our home protection. Again, no security system, nothing like that. It was just 38. Well, worked, if you had some snakes or rats or whatever else that needed killed, around your property, just carried your weapon around. That's it. No biggie. No one thought too much about it, to tell you the truth. But now we can call dog catchers, exterminators, and all them guys. Did this for a few years. And I know my grandmother and mother did it as well. Is milk a cow. Now, unless you had to get up 7 days a week and do it twice a day and milk this cow, and that's every day. You can't, there's no holidays. Make sure she's fed and everything, but damn. Well, thanks, Grandma and Mom. I appreciate it. You all are some green people. I remember when the tire went flat, it was no, get a new tire, it was like patch the tube, and that old damn push lawnmower. Gee, still remember it. But that's the way it was.